Let us start base with our Abuja and our Port Harcourt studio. But we'll begin with our Abuja studio. We have James Abiri. James Abiri was formerly detained by the DSS. He's also a journalist, and was also recently released by the DSS. And Peter Nkanga. Peter Nkanga is an investigative journalist. You both welcome to the program this morning. Now, our major focus is on Samuel Ogundikpe, who we know is still in detention with the Nigeria police. We've seen both sides of the story. We've heard what the Nigeria police has said concerning why he's still being held. They've accused him of theft. They've deprived him of having a legal representation. He has no lawyer with him. Now, let me begin with you, James. James, you have also been in this, situation that Samuel is currently. Tell us your experience and what exactly is the hope for journalists way forward.
First and foremost, I have to thank Nigerians for their resilience in protecting the interests of journalists in this country, for their clear advocacy to ensure that there should be a press freedom. Most especially, I thank the Press Unlimited, Union of Journalists, and all other organizations, most especially the Amnesty International, and various NGOs that sang the needed song to the ears of the security agents in this country to ensure that justice should prevail. Truly, I was arrested on the 21st day of July 2016, and since then I've been in detention, in captivity, in the hands of Department of State Security Services in Abuja. In fact, the story is a journey. But in as much as I know, lo and behold, I was being alive by the grace of God. And in fact, the bitter experience of journalism profession in this country is saddening. It's a gory story to be told. In fact, we must take this fight to a level where we should tell the security agent that the do's and don'ts of their work should be clearly be told. And when this is done, I think the profession of being in this practice will go a long way. And secondly, Nigerians should equally sing the song to the ears of the security agent, because their activities is becoming so inimical. If I have committed any crime, fine, get me arrested, and as required by law, 24 hours, then you can now constitute a court of law and judge me. And that was not done. And for the past 2 years, I've been in the captivity. This is unwarranted abuse of human rights in this country on the part of Department of State Security Services. Actually, the matter is in court, and I am sure the judiciary will do its best to dispense justice in my issue. Thank you.
Listen to an investigative journalist having hears about the do's and don'ts of the security operatives. Can you just tell Nigerians what are the do's and don'ts, for an investigative journalist? Because this debate is on, and the public is also saying, some are saying that, are you sure the journalist did not err in any way? Yeah, Port Harcourt specifically. Peter Nkanga, can we hear your view on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, I think it's simple. Okay. When it comes to security issues, there are two things there's only one thing the government always uses to persecute the press or the media or critical voices. They'll say it's of national security, national interest. But you see, there's also one other thing that the public needs to know about, which supersedes even that, and that is public interest. Is it in the public interest for Nigerians to know about their Commonwealth, for Nigerians to know about their democracy, for Nigerians to know about why should our legislature, which represents the people, be invaded by masked men like as if we are not in a democratic dispensation? Now, is it of public interest? Nigerians the world over want to know the fact about what happened on that day that the DSS invaded the national security. And how does the public get this information that they need to know? It's through the media, it's through journalists like Samuel Ogundipe, who decided to go a notch higher to find out, okay, what is the aftermath, what are the precautions, what is going on now that we know that there was an invasion? He got that information and put it out for Nigerians to know. Now, the question is, the do's and don'ts come down to one major thing. Whatever you're putting out for the public to digest, is it of public interest? And if it's of public interest, then you can defend it anywhere. And that is where we are with Samuel Ogundipe. But that is where you can see, you can feel it, you can see it, you can hear it, the outcry, saying, free Samuel Ogundipe. Because what Samuel Ogundipe did, it was in the interest of Nigerians, because we need to still know what happened at the National Assembly that fateful day, that people were stopped from going to work, that our legislature was almost trampled upon, that our democracy was almost revoked. And that is why we can't allow such an issue to continue unabated. We need to speak out. Like Jones has rightly said, his case, he was there for 2 years in detention without access to his family, to his lawyers, to medical attention. He was not even given the right to fair hearing, no trial for 2 years. Stolen or done anything else. Those things need to stop, and that is why we are crying out. I will not stop. The public needs to rise along with the media to say this is not an attack on a journalist or an attack on the press, but an attack on all Nigerians that have right to information.
All right, let us go to Port Harcourt. Stanley Job. Stanley, you are the NUJ chairman of Rivers State, so I'm sure you're very familiar with this section of the Constitution, Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution, which states vividly that the media are empowered at all times to be free to uphold the fundamental principles of governance. Now, the key words in this is are all times and free. That is the freedom to pursue or seek, gather, analyze, and interpret, disseminate information pertaining to the governance of the general populace without prior restraints or constraints by the government or any other interest. Now, in what way do you think, now let's be very logical, in what way do you think that Samuel violated this law?
Thank you. I don't think Samuel Ogundipe has violated any law by the report he published. Like one of the discussants said, that what Samuel published, is it in the interest of the public? If the answer is yes, then the man has not committed any offense. It's very unfortunate that journalists have become endangered species in Nigeria. Most of the times, journalists are being arrested for no just cause. What you classify as a secret document, if the public need to know that certain security agency invaded the National Assembly